commitment.
I see. Well, all the best to you and your team. Let's see. We're waiting for July to find out who.
July
16th, between 16th and I think the 17th or 18th, right?
Thank you, yeah.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to the elections to find out. Would I be there? Most likely will be at work, of course, reporting on it. But also this morning we have Comrade Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. He is the MP for Tamale Central. And yesterday I came across a tweet that the MP for Ningo Prampram put up, Honorable Sam George, concerning something that Comrade had done in his constituency. So he says, salute to the people of Tamale Central and their MP, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, for their swift action when duty called in defense of our culture and the Constitution. So long as they mount those billboards, we will bring them down. Long may Article 3 of the 92 Constitution live. There must be a reason why you also, didn't allow that billboard to stay up for that long.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. You've just given him the opportunity to do some campaign. I think that TV3 should be sending them
an invoice, right?
An invoice to pay for the campaign. You came to my hometown. I didn't give water. You didn't even tell me when you were coming to my hometown. And good morning to the good people of Tamale Central. And let me also commend the youth of Tamale Central for what they did yesterday. I had a call from one of the young people in my constituency indicating to me what had happened. And I wanted to be too sure. So I asked them to take a picture of the billboard for me. When they sent it, and it was shocking, to be very honest. Tamale of all places, they chose to do that. And apparently what they did was that they do it in the night. In the middle of the night, then the next morning you find it. If you think that you are doing something genuine, if you think that you are doing something legal, if you think that you are doing something decent, what is the fear? What is the fear of doing it during the day? But they engage in this. They did it in Accra, I think on the Tema Motorway, which we insisted be pulled down. And I indicated that the very day my colleagues went there, if I were with them, I would have pulled it down. Maybe perhaps they were
that same day?
Yes, I would have. Honestly, I wouldn't have given the IGP any 24 hours to do so. Apparently, they were testing my resolve, and they sent it to my constituency. And when we got wind of it, it didn't take us any long to do that. It is even illegal to do what they did. There are several questions people are asking. Whether my good friend, the Metropolitan Chief Executive for Tamale, was aware of this, whether the regional minister was aware, because the Tamale Metropolitan, the Tamale Center falls within the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. I had indicated on radio that I don't believe he was aware of that.
But you haven't heard from him directly?
Yes, I haven't. I haven't, because if he wasn't aware and if he never sanctioned it, then we need to find out those who did it. One, it would have been illegal for you to engage in any advertisement, more so an advertisement that frowns upon our values, our culture, an advertisement that frowns upon our religion, our principles, and who we are as a people. Such is just unacceptable. And as long as... How
so? Because it just puts up a statement that says love, tolerance, and acceptance.
But who doesn't know what they do? The Gomes have a proverb that damdum nganyabo. The squatting is just similar as seeing. And the point is that the signs, we know, these are signs that represents this LGBTQ nonsense. And I say so because we should stop the pretense, to be very honest with you. The people who are forcing this down our throat, the Western world, they have their values they protect jealously. As a matter of fact, they use their legal regime to protect those values. If you go to America or any of the Western world and you marry more than one, they will prosecute you and possibly jail you. Yes. If you do that, they think that it frowns upon their values. Why is it that our values also say that we will not accept this, yet you want to push it down our throat? And to be very honest, this government must speak out. They either speak out or they break the shackles that are holding their members of parliament from speaking out. When we sit with MPP members of parliament privately, they agree with us on the issue of this anti-LGBTQ thing. But publicly, they can't speak to it.
We've had a few of them who have spoken. There are some of them who even belong to the group that is calling for the anti-LGBTQ.
They are no longer speaking. When was the last time we heard them speak? When was the last time? And I challenge you to tell me. I don't want to mention name. Someone who was vociferous, who was part of this whole process. When was the last time you heard them speak? I was on a program with a colleague member of parliament, and I asked him to look into the cameras and tell us whether he supports the bill as it is, whether he is against this. And I know that sincerely they are against it. I know. But publicly they cannot, because they have been cowed to submission by the Flagstaff House. That is the fact.
You cannot say that.
But what is the reason?
What, the Flagstaff House is asking them not to comment on this?
Bella, you and I are not coming from Jupiter. We know what is happening. Why is it that they can no longer speak? He may have the luxury to do that. He's campaigning for someone who is contesting for national chairman. I'm saying, please, if you want to go about the flip-flopping, if you want to go about the flip-flopping of the president on this issue,
or has he not?
He said that it is bound to happen.
No.
But that was what he said.
No.
And it took him months.
No.
He said that it is, when they asked him, he said it is bound to happen.
No, that's not what he said.
He said that if it gets to that point where people... No, he did say that.
He said that it is bound to happen. And then
but
they
it was
asked
in
him,
the context.
Hold on.
That out.
Anytime the president speaks, someone must explain.
Now, if you can find that video for us of the president commenting on this LGBTQ issue.
He said that it is bound to happen. And then they wanted to know how it is going to happen.
He says if it gets to that point where there's actually a call for it.
There mustn't even be any contemplation of getting to that point. It frowns upon our values. It frowns upon our laws.
Okay, Kofi, hold on. I'll let you touch on it. Hold on.
I'm saying that. Hold on.
When he was in that
Kofi, I'll let you touch on this before we move on.
The president had a platform, an international platform on Al Jazeera, an international platform. He had the opportunity to have stated his position. And on that platform, he stated his sincere position that it is bound to happen if there is that concerted, force and campaign. That was his position. It took the president months, I say months, for him to go to some church in some parts of this country, and upon duress, he said that, it will not happen under my watch. Walk your talk. I am asking why members of parliament who were speaking against it, who participated in drafting this bill, today can no longer speak. Today, when was the last time you heard them speak on this issue? Okay. He may have the luxury. Anytime you have a minister of state on your program, I want you to ask that minister of state or that member of parliament to look straight into the cameras and say that I support this bill, I am against this. You hear some of them who even fail an attempt. They say, yes, we support it, but something ought to be done about the bill. There is nothing wrong with that bill. Okay. It is absolutely unacceptable.
I'll let you speak, Kofi, don't worry.
And there has never, I know you will not be interested.
Please land on this for me, so Kofi can just touch on this briefly.
There has never been a convergence of all religions across the globe on a matter that yielded consensus than our position to this. The only people who are against it are those who live at the four walls of the
Let's just listen to the president on this. I'll let Kofi touch on this briefly, and then we can move on to our main conversation for today. This is the president speaking on whether he would pass or legalize LGBTQ in the country.
Of expression. So I want to ask you about what is happening in your country and homosexuality, for example, which I believe is illegal and it's punishable. I mean, why is homosexuality still illegal in your country?
The social, cultural issues, if you like. I don't believe that in Ghana so far a sufficiently strong coalition has emerged, which is having that impact on public opinion that will say, change it. Let's then have a new paradigm in Ghana.
Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen. And when that happens...
What's going to provoke it? What's going to make it happen?
Oh, it's the activity, like elsewhere in the world. Like elsewhere in the world, the activities of individuals, of groups. I grew up in England. I went to school as a young boy in England, and I grew up at a time in England when homosexuality was banned there. It was illegal, and I lived a period when British politicians thought it was anathema even to think about changing the law, and then suddenly the activities of individuals, of groups, a certain awareness, a certain development grew and grew and grew stronger, and it forced a change in law. I believe that those are the same processes that will bring about changes in our situation. At the moment, I don't see that in Ghana there is that strong current of opinion that is saying this is something that we need to even deal with. It's not. It doesn't. It's not so far a matter which is on.
And that was President Akufo-Addo speaking to Al Jazeera sometime in 2017, November 2017. Kofi, we've heard from the president now.
Bella, good morning again. Let me seize this opportunity to wish my boss, I call him my boss.
Another campaign.
Dr. Mustafa Hamid Abdul Hamid, CEO of National Petroleum Authority, former Minister for Information.
He has free coupons for wishing him a happy birthday.
Just stop this.
For wishing him a happy birthday. Yes, then we'll all wish happy birthday.
Dr. Mustafa, he talked to me, he was my teacher. Happy birthday. I will also love coupons.
Kofi, carry on.
Bella, on the issue of the LGBT and what you just played, let me share with you a little history of the United States and even homosexuality. 50 years ago, it was illegal. In fact, the first person that was killed for being a homosexual was in the United States of America, California. Okay, currently, as we speak, all the red states, when I talk of red states, Republicans, you know Republicans are against LGBT. There are laws in their states that bars the promotion of LGBT. In the United States of America, now, as we speak, okay, the comment made by the president at that time is that we haven't had that conversation yet. And when it comes on board, we will have it. And he has stated his position. Can you just stop? You were making your point. I kept quiet. He has stated his position clearly that it will not be under his administration that we will legitimize homosexuality in this country. And I think that put the matter to rest.
So there's an anti-LGBTQ bill. Support. And of course, you know, there are complaints that the chairman is delaying the process in passing the bill. He has come out to say that's not true, by the way. No, he's come out to say that's not true. You were on recess for a while. There was no way he could have called the members, you know, of the team to come and discuss it and all of that. You let Kofi land on this. So there are concerns that, of course, if the president says that there's no way under his watch that LGBTQ will be legalized. There's an anti-LGBTQ bill.
Bella,
why is there a delay in passing that?
That is a parliamentary matter. Okay, that's a parliamentary matter. Let Parliament deal with it. But the fact of the matter is that the president has stated his position clearly. Okay, so you can choose to do whatever you are doing, but it's clear. What I want to put out there is that as far as myself, Kofi Amia, is concerned, I respect the laws of the land. And the laws of the land currently upholds the practice and promotion of these activities. Okay? So that's where I stand. That's what I support. Do you get it? And the president has also stated clearly. So I want to tell the international community and those who are engaging in these things, you stop it. Not until we bring finality to this issue. Stop this posting and erecting signposts and all that.
But erecting a signpost or a billboard, what law exactly does it break that prevents you from...
You are promoting... Let's stop it. It's not right. It's not...
What law in particular? Because those are questions that they're also asking. That is there a particular law that it breaks if they mount a billboard that says that show tolerance, let's show love to each other?
My point is that let's respect the laws of our land. Finito. That's my comment on this.
Okay, all right.
Bella, you see,
we have to move on to our next topic,
you see, this attempt to deceive the people of this country won't find legs. Hold on, won't find legs to stand. Nobody argues that the president never said in some church somewhere that this won't happen under his watch. The president had an international platform. The president said it is bound to happen. It took the president.
Did you listen to the question that was asked?
You just.
No, did you listen to the question?
He spoke a language. Understand that language
so let's
can be understood.
Interjecting so we can move on.
Those of you who attended first class school and those of who attended Kulku school.
Yeah, I went to St. Peter's.
I attended Kulku school. We can all appreciate that language he spoke. I am saying that the president had the platform and he stated his sincere position that it is bound to happen.
That is not his sincere position. Is that he doesn't support it. It will not happen under his administration.
It took the president months after several agitation and criticisms. Months.
But Mutana, what are you trying to do?
But even if it took months, he still said it anyway.
No, what
who won and dined with the promoter of homosexuality?
There are some other flags of
house. He was not in the same bed with him.
There are some
president.
Hold on.
There are some at the flags of house.
Can you just take the
I'm saying that there are some working at the flags of house. We want me to mention their names. The point I'm making is that Bella, it took the president months to say what he said. The question I asked simply, currently there is a bill in parliament. The entire 137 members of parliament of the NDC side are in support of that bill. And we have been speaking openly. Tell your leadership to speak openly in support of the bill. In fact, instead, they are criticizing the bill. And the chairman of this committee is deliberately frustrating this deliberately.
But
look, this position.
Do they not have a right to criticize the bill? If there are portions of it, there are portions of it that do not sit well with a certain group of people, should they not raise objections?
The standing order says that when you have such a bill, maximum 3 months. This man is deliberately frustrating it. It's over 3 months today. I am saying that...
He said this is a private member's bill. The law does not apply to a private member's bill like it does.
What is the use in frustrating this bill? And I'm saying we have spoken. This thing was started with very good members of parliament from the MPP side. They are no longer talking. They are no longer uttering a word because they were called to submission by the Flagstaff House.
And you know that for a fact.
They should speak out.
Who called them at the Flagstaff House then?
I'm saying that.
If you're saying they were called, who called them?
Bella, they should speak out.
Who called them at the Flagstaff House?
They should speak out. You see,
if you're so sure about that.
You see what this government is doing. And don't be allowed to be deceived. I've been saying it. What they are doing is better described as cartoon scenario reality. Oh, we are against LGBTQ. Meanwhile, they have been pressured, and this pressure is not a secret, by the Western world. You accept it, or certain funding will come. And in fact, they have extended same to academia. There are university professors now whose funding at their departments comes from the Western world, and they threaten them that you accept it. There are some who do not want to speak out because of fear of not being given visas. I will travel to Togo or to Nigeria or to Nyasaland. As long as my opposition for this barbarism will deny me a visa, I would prefer to live and die in Ghana. Be prepared to do that.
All right.